Yeah, we here. I could talk about the absence, but yeah, y'all knew mythical stuff. Series 13 was bringing me back, so let's just go ahead and get into this tier list. Am I all set up? It's been a while since I recorded. Yep, we look good. My camera's right here. Tier list is right here, but my OBS is over here, so I might look that way. But we're gonna focus this way. I want to get a little in depth with some of these. This is what I was able to find. I ain't finding a specific one. I know some of these are not in the game. So let's just get right into it. Follow, subscribe to your boy if you first time ever seeing this channel. Like it if you're new or not new, and let's get into it. So we start with Mew. I'm gonna put Mew in S tier, right? um, and that could come back later. This is just like me. Granted, we never played with Mythical, so I'm just like forecasting a little bit, and this could be too low. Well, we'll find out later. But Mew, let's actually pull up some stuff. I believe it's 100 base stats across the board, and it can learn like any TM, basically giving it access to like all the moves in the game. Which is why it's kind of busted, right? Because basically you can take like all the good moves that are on Pokemon that suck and put it on Mew, right? And also it brings you an element of surprise that no one can ever prepare for, unless they become some kind of like standard Mew set that everybody runs. But like you can teach it a bunch of support moves. You can make it bulky. You can make it fast. You can make it offensive. You can make it mixed. You can make it physical. You can make it special because everything is like even across the board, right? Um, and it can learn all those moves. So there's nothing you can really do to prepare from you other than kind of scout it out in the first game. And then on top of that, let's say your opponent figures out what your Mew is doing and adjusts for game two. Your Mew could have something like transform, and then your Mew just becomes a whole different Pokemon. Like what? That doesn't even make like sense. I actually want to pull up the Mew database just so I can confirm some of this information really quickly. I haven't recorded in a long time, so hopefully the audio is fine and the visual is fine. Bear with me, please, if there's any issues. You can hear my air conditioner. I'm sorry, it's hot. It is hot. But yeah, I'm just pulling up some information. My computer's been over here collecting dust too, so it might be a little slow. But yeah, like, what kind of Mew sets would you guys run? Well, I think I would just run probably mostly support because it's bulky. I'd probably run a transform set because it has the HP. Maybe is Final Gambit a TM? Can it learn that? I don't know. But that's something I think I would do with it. And then it has what, 3 weaknesses: Bug, Ghost, Dark. It's just like fine. It has 2 resistances. Everything else is neutral. Yes, it is 100 across the board. So it's not like out of this world in any stat, but like that's great stuff, right? That's 600 base across the board, and they can learn all those moves. Like, what are you really supposed to do about that? Next up is Celebi. Will Celebi be as good as Mew? Um, Let me take a look at Celebi's ability. I think it's Natural Cure. So let's go ahead and pull a Celebi up real quick. Its ability is Natural Cure, and it's also 100 across the board. I don't know if it has the same thing where it can learn all those TMs. It does have a lot more weaknesses than Mew, but it does have some more resistances. It does have a 4 times weakness to Bug, though, which is not a common offensive typing, right? So is that big of a deal? It just heals status problems upon switching out, but like, is it really going to get hit with status problems that much? That's something that remains to be seen, right? Let me look at its move pool. I know you guys can't see it, but I can see it. Its move pool is pretty vast, actually, pretty good. Yeah, it is pretty good. But I don't think it's as deep as Mew's. So for that reason, I'm actually gonna drop it because it's probably not gonna get as much usage because Mew is gonna get all the usage. So this thing, I'm gonna put it A for now, but I'm gonna look up some stuff because I think it gets like a flinching ability. It also gets like flinching moves, which could be like stupid annoying to deal with outside of like Dynamax. Jirachi. Doing this all in real time for you guys because it's time to get some content back on the channel. For the people who are still here, the 620 of you, I think I lost some subscribers. I was like almost 630. So it does have 100 across the board, just like the other two. It is a steel psychic type though, so it has a lot of resistances. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has 9 resistances and an immunity to poison. And it has 1, 2, 3. It has 4 weaknesses. So that's actually really good defensive typing. Really good bulk. And then it has the Serene Grace, which allows you to like flinch people at a higher rate, just like Togekiss. Except this won't actually be weak to steel types. That's actually pretty tough. That is pretty tough. Ooh, that's tough, guys. I might have to move it up. What kind of moves does it get? Let's see if we can take a look at that quickly. It's a move pool. Confusion. Oh, so it gets like Wish, Helping Hand. Oh man. It does get Iron Head like we know. It does. It gets Healing Wish too. Thunder Wave, Swagger, U-Turn, Sub, Flat, Trick Room. Okay, so you know what? I have it an A for now. I think that's a good place for it. If you guys think it should be higher, let me know in the comments for sure. Deoxys is not in the game, I believe, and neither is Manaphy or Darkrai or Shaman. I'm not sure if RCS is allowed. I think RCS is available in the game. But is RCS allowed? You guys let me know. I haven't actually checked that, but actually let me actually have it pulled up. Let me see if RCS is in. RCS I think is in the game, but I don't think it's allowed. So we're gonna skip over that for now. Victini, I think, is gonna go to the S tier also. And you're probably wondering why. It's because of two reasons. One, its ability. I forgot the name of it. And I'll pull it up now. It allows like your teammates and its own accuracy to be higher, which doesn't sound like that much, but it's like there's stuff like you put this thing with like on a Sun team with Groudon, and like Groudon just spam Precipice Blades without having to worry about missing as often. I think that's pretty substantial. And then like you put it with like even your Kyogre, Victory Star. You put it with your Kyogre, and you don't have to rely on the HP stuff from Water Spout. You can use Origin Pulse more reliably. Moves like Fly, what else? Heat Wave, that have poor accuracy. Even like Dragon Rush from your Dragon types that's like 75 accuracy, it'll boost those. And on top of it, like it's 100 across the board, so it has good speed. Then it has like V-Create, which isn't it like 180 base power? Yeah, and it's 95 accurate. And then you add what 9.5 because it's a 10% boost. So you're just gonna be able to spam that. Well, not really spam that. Cause I think it lowers your numbers, lowers your defense, special defense. Oh, you know what? So it doesn't even lower its own special attack or attack. It's a physical. It just lowers your defensive stats. So like you could put a sash on this thing, V-Create. Trick Room with the Pokemon next to it because you're slower. V-Create. What? That is crazy. Oh, hold on. That's gonna be nuts. Oh yeah, I think S tier is right for that thing because that sounds incredible. Oh, that sounds incredible, yo. I'm gonna go back, and I'm going to go and look up because I don't know much about Keldeo. I know it has like Sacred Sword and Secret Sword or something like that. So let's look up Keldeo. Water fighting, I believe it is. Justified is the ability where you get hit with a dark type move and you go up and attack, which is nice because it does have 108 speed, like the other Swords of Justice, I believe. Has 129 special attack, which is actually pretty nice. Doesn't have much attack stat, 72. I do believe that it has a special fighting move though. Secret Sword. So it's 85 base. 100% accurate. It's special, so you can use that hefty 129 special attack. And it inflicts damage based on the target's defense, not special defense. And that's important because a lot of people, because there's so many ways to mitigate physical attack, like Intimidate, Burn, etc., people tend to go specially bulky. So this would bypass those special investments and go right into the defensive stat. But it's not affected by Intimidate. This is like the anti-Incineroar. It's fighting and water, and it basically ignores Intimidate with this move. That's pretty good. I'm gonna put it in A for a second, actually, and I gotta see the difference between the two forms. I don't really know much about the two differences. I'm gonna take a look real quick. I'm gonna go back. Oh, it was an Ordinary and Resolute. So the Resolute form also has that. What changes? I think. Oh, I think the Resolute form basically just allows you to like learn Sacred Sword or something, because the stats don't actually change. Yeah, the stats don't actually change. So it doesn't really matter. And I think the move pool stays the same. So I'm gonna put them both in A. I might only because I don't think it has as much utility as like Mew and Victini. But like just being in a meta where I feel like Incineroar is going to be so important because of the steel types. Having this thing on your team is actually going to be like killer. It's actually going to be insane to have it on your team. just for that. And it has like Rain Dance. You can put it like with Kyogre teams, Kyogre Zacian teams. That's actually a pretty strong core now I think about it. Ooh, this is gonna be pretty good. I'm tempted to move it up. I'm tempted, but I'm gonna leave it here for now just to see what comes out. It gets coaching and flip turn too. I'm gonna talk myself into moving up. So let me actually move on. Genesect is one of my favorite mythicals like ever. But if I remember, I don't think its stats are that good. So let me pull it up. I don't think its stats are that great. It's bug steel, so it's 4 times weak to fire in base. Its attack and special attack are good. Its speed is a 99, which is solid. Without speed, everything except the base 100s and above. But like, base 100 feels kind of important, right? Like Charizard and stuff. But it is faster than like what Groudon and Kyogre, which is good. And I know you can put the plates on it. And if you put the plates on it, you can or whatever those things are that it was, it plates or memories or the drives. I think you put the drives on it and then it'll change its typing. It also gets download. So what is it? Raises attack of the opponent's events lower than special. So you can download like Porygon and get an attack or special attack boost. Let me take a look at its move pool. His move pool is pretty good. You know, stuff like Technoblast. Technoblast is the kind of the move for it though, right? Because it's the normal type move if you don't have a drive. But you can, with Burn, Chill, Douse, and Shock Drive, you can turn it to Fire, Ice, Water, Electric. So it does have that going for it, which is a 120 base power move. It's a 120 base power move. It doesn't miss. That, I think that's enough to get it to at least B tier. Just because it has that, and it's like under Dynamax, it's probably like 140. And then having like, you can put like a, not knowing which max move your opponent has is going to be pretty good for it, right? You put a Life Orb on this thing, you can probably get some good damage off. So I'm putting it in B for now. What do we got next? Okay, so Mega DNC is not in the game. The Malouettas is not in the game. I hate to do this. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in B for bias because I really like DNC. It has a lot of defense, but shout out to Moxie. He wanted to point out that DNC has basically the same defensive stats as Carbink, but Carbink has 30 and DNC does not. It's just that DNC has offensive stats and it has 100. It has 100 in each attack and special attack, which is nice. And that's clear body, so it can't be like intimidated or snarled, which I think is good. I think those are good abilities to have. And I do think its defenses being 150 on both ends makes for a good clear body mon, right? You can't lower its defenses at all. Can't lower its attack. You can probably like switch it into some hits. It does have 5 resistances and an immunity, right? Dark, Bug, Flying, Normal, Flying, resist all those, and it's immune to Dragon. So I think defensively it's pretty good in that way, and it can like do damage, knock stuff out if you need it to. It has like Ancient Power, Rock Polish. Rock Polish, it could increase its speed, which is what, 50? Yeah, maybe not. Moonblast, which is good for fairy types, like the best fairy type special move, I believe. Well, up until the big one that we will talk about later. It has a decent move pool as well, right? So it has Trick Room, so it could be a good Trick Room on. Misty Explosion could be nice. Meteor Beam it has. So I think B is fine for it. It actually has some stuff. Hoopa, I'm sure, is not in this game. Hoopa would be fun though. But Hoopa, I'm sure, is not in this game. Volcanion. I like Volcanion. I think I like Volcanion more than other people. I think other people don't think it's going to be very good, but I think it will. What is it? Base 70 speed, which is not great. You kind of want it to be higher or lower, but I do think you can make it work. The same way people made stuff like Heatran work. I think you can make Volcanion work. I think Volcanion's a little bit better. I was doing some games with Volcanion. I gave it a Wakan Berry to stem into electric moves, like from Kyogre's Thunder or Max Lightning and from Lucky. And it actually lives those moves with max HP, which is the way I was doing it. Had max HP, max special attack. Special attack is 130, so it's pretty good. It hits really good. Water Absorb makes it like the fire type that's immune to water type moves, which is pretty awesome, right? Because you can basically kind of like wall off a Kyogre. Besides, if it doesn't have Thunder, you can like wall off Steel types. I'm pretty sure it's like 4 times resistant to ice, fire, and steel. Yeah, it's 4 times resist all of those things, right? It's weak to electric, ground, and rock, and that's it. Like you can deal with those, and it resists fairy. So like hard counter like Zacian, you can burn Zacian with Steam Eruption, or just flat out knock it out. Steam Eruption is like what, base 110, 95 accurate. Put it next to Victini on that Sun team. You guys picking up what I'm putting down. You get that 100% accurate move, Steam Eruption, and you get like a small chance to burn, or you can just blow stuff up. Gets overheat, flavorless, explosion. Yeah, it has really good moves. That's Will-O-Wisp. I think A is a good spot for it. I think it's a good spot for it. I want to do Melt. I think even Melton can even be in. Can Melton be in B? Let me check its base stat, because its base stats are pretty low actually. Its ability is nice. I think it's like Magnet Pull or something. I might have to drop Melton if it doesn't have any. Like, cause I need to see what its stats would kind of look like with something like in a Violet. I know it's pretty slow. It's like 30 speed or 35 speed, 34 speed. Its defense is a 65. Its special defense is a 35. So I mean, within a Violet, you can get a pretty decent defense stat, but it's not really that bulky. So no, it's probably like D tier actually. I'll put it in C because it has a good ability, right? You can get those. You can stop those Magirinas and Meltons and Zacians and Melmetals and etc. from switching out, which is like always something good. And it has a lot of resistances. Maybe with a Violet, it actually isn't that bad. But we'll find out. I could be dead wrong about this, and I'll be happy to be wrong. On the flip side, I'd say this guy. I want to put him in S, right? It is a pure steel. Let me put it here for now. I want to look at something because it basically just hits hard, right? And it's like hitting hard is nice and all, but like I think a lot of mines hit hard. And what do you do besides hit hard? Its special defense is not great, but you can throw an assault vest on it. Its defense and HP though are so high. 143 for the defense, 135 for the HP. It makes it really hard to break through, especially because it has what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 resistances, 1 immunity. So basically 3 types hit it super effective. Ground, fighting, and fire. Ground and fighting are typically physical types, and you have the bulky defense stat, and then fire is basically what you can hit it with. And it's neutral to water and electric. So I actually think because of that, S is fine, because it's going to be so hard to break through. It gets like double Iron Bash combined with like Iron Fist, which raises it, and double Iron Bash is what, base 60? Yeah, so what is that? Base Iron Fist brings you up by 20%, I believe? Or is it? So yeah, because Technician brings you up by like 50. Let's double check it just to make sure. I don't want to give you guys the wrong information. So 20%. So I think it brings is it 60 to 72, because 10% is 6, and so 20% would be 12. Yep, 20% is 12. So that brings it from 60 to 72, and it hits twice, I believe. It hits twice, and so that's like 144 base power. However, you do get stab on each of those, which is like 30 shots. So it's like 105 each time. Or like 108, something like that, or 107 each time. 106, whatever, and so that's like 212 base power, which is actually pretty nuts. That's actually pretty insane. It's pretty insane damage, and it gets like bullet punch, so it's slow, but like you get like Iron Fist bullet punch, I believe, does power it up. You get Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, you get all the punches, Dynamic Punch. Yeah, so this thing's actually gonna be pretty tough. Of course, there's like Incineroar with like the whole Intimidate and being a fire type thing, but that's just gonna be Pokemon for the rest of its life. So whatever. Actually let's just go to Magirinan. No, let's actually save that. Zeraora is also going to be an S tier simply because it does everything Regieleki does, except it beats Regieleki one-on-one because of Volt Absorb. It's faster than everything except Eleki, Calyrex Shadow, Zacian. Those are just the mons that are actually like people are going to be using. No one's going to really be using Pheromosa, which is also faster. But you get Electro Web with this thing, right? And like I'm going to give away the sauce, whatever. But like you can like protect with your mon in front of an Eleki. Electro Web the Eleki, be faster than the next turn, and then like Electro Web it again, because you can't have your speed drop by Electro Web because it has Volt Absorb. Eleki can't hit it because it has Volt Absorb. And then it has like move coverage, right? Like that's the thing about it. Like I think it gets like Play Rough, which is like nice coverage. Actually really nice coverage. Pardon me, let me just type this in. I want to see what its other stats are. See, a Volt Absorb, it's a 112 attack stat and has 102 special attack. So pretty good stats. Defenses aren't even like terrible. 75 and 80, 88 HP. It's not like it's not great defenses, but it's not like other mons where have no defense at all. But yeah, quick attack, power punch, fury swipe, snarl, volt switch, thunder punch, home claws. So it has good support. I think it's fake out. It has like good support options and good offensive options, like scary face helping him for more support. Electro web, volt switch. Yeah, it has electric terrain, brutal swing, false. Like it just has so many moves. Obviously, false swipe is not competitively viable, but just looking at its pool, wild charge, throat chop, play rough, electro ball, grass knot. Like, why does it get so many moves? That's insane. Man, this is gonna be a tough like format to play in for a lot of people because there's just so much more to cover for now, and there's like no limits to it. You can have 6 of these mons on your team if you want, straight like that. Now Marshadow was like one of my favorites. I was like waiting for a chance to use this mon since like Sword and Shield, but like I actually never battled with Marshadow. I know it has Spectral Thief, which like steals stat boost, and like that's pretty insane for a Dynamax format, right? Like, and it has Technician too, so it boosts its moves that are under what 60 as well. But yeah, let me see. And it has like really good like moves. Fighting and Ghost is a great typing. You're immune to fighting and normal. It resists bug, rock, and poison, so that's pretty good defensive typing. It has 4 weaknesses: Psychic, Flying, Ghost, Fairy. Which weaknesses you rather not have, but with its what is it? 125 special, 125 speed. I apologize. It's pretty good, pretty fast. And 125 attack. And like it does have to deal with Incineroar being able to intimidate it, but it is a fighting type. And it can, like I said, it can steal stat boost. Let me actually find the Spectral Thief move. Actually, Spectral Thief being 90 base power, is actually pretty broken because like it steals the stat boost first and then it attacks. So like somebody goes for like their max knuckle or whatever it is, you can steal that and attack them with a +1. You can steal their speed boost, their defense boost. I do wonder if it steals it, does it also basically remove it from the opponent? Because that is gonna make a difference. I think because of Spectral Thief and its typing, and Ghost is a pretty hard type to like cover for, right? And because like people would usually like use their normal types against Ghost types or their dark types, and it has fighting to cover for that actually does make it really tough to deal with. I think it's actually going to be an S tier mod. It might be closer to A than it is to S, but I think it creeps into the S tier, just barely. And I could be wrong. It could be like S plus by the end of the format, right? But who knows? So the reason I even made an S plus is because this thing exists. So let's talk about it just a little bit. Let me actually pull it up before I even go into it. I really hope you guys can't hear my air conditioner. So this thing, right, Magirna, has Soul Heart. Basically, Soul Heart is anytime a Pokemon faints, it gets a special attack boost. So, like, if you blow up your Pokemon with Explosion or Self-Destruct, you get a special attack boost. If that blows up your opponent's 2 Pokemon, you get all 3 a boost from your Pokemon fainting and theirs. You get 3 special attack boosts before anything even happens on the field. Really, just like Pokemon's fainted. If something dies to hail, you get a special attack boost. Dies to sandstorm, you get a special attack boost. If it dies to Vine Lash Chip or Wildfire Chip, you get a special attack boost. Like no matter what, is this anytime something faints, it gets a boost, which is kind of stupid. It should but it is what it is, right? It's just meant to be broken. It was never really meant to be used. And then it's Fairy and Steel, which means it gets all the offensive and defensive advantages in the game. Because it can hit Steel types with Steel. It can hit Fairy types with its Steel type moves. It can hit Rock types. It can hit everything for neutral, at least with Fairy. Only thing that really resists Fairy is Steel. Steel and Poison, but like you are immune to poison anyway as a Fairy type. So you have anything has what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 immunities, 9 resist 2 immunities, 2 weaknesses, ground and fire. You can cover for ground and fire very easily with rain. Very easily with rain, you can account for that. And then it's like 65 speed, so you can lower it and run it in Trick Room. But I think it also gets what's that move? That raises like the the speed. Is this shift gear? Let me check. Yeah, it raises attack by 1 stage and speed by 2 stages. So like you can raise your speed by 2 stages with shift gear. If you want to run a max speed one, which is like crazy. You can run it like fast or you can run it slow, which is like crazy. Floor cannon is a base 130 fairy type move. This is probably the best fairy type special move in the game. And like yeah, it drops your special attack by 2 when you're not in max, but you're probably gonna max this thing. And then you're gonna get knockouts and get boost, and then you're gonna blow something up with floor cannon. So by the time you get the drop, you probably already have boost, and you'll go back down to +1 or neutral or maybe -1. But the game is probably over by then. And then it gets like all these coverage moves too, right? It gets like volt switch and area impulse. For what reason? Why does it need that? Aurora beam, which is not great, but it's an ice type coverage move for like max moves against ground types. Ice beam as well. Shadow ball. Like it just, why does it get all this coverage? Like that doesn't even make sense. They get support moves, speed swap, trick room, helping hand. So it's like this is like mythicals are gonna be fun, but if the game does break, it'll be because of this thing. And I don't know exactly how we deal with it. I mean, I do know how you deal with it, right? You just gotta just get rid of it before it boosts up. But I feel like people are gonna know that, so they're gonna be prepared for it. So we just gotta kind of see what's gonna happen. I think this is where they are for now. If there's any mythicals that I'm missing, which I don't believe I am, please tell me. I can actually do one last, quick check just to make sure. Because I have it up on Celebi. I got Mew in there, Celebi, Jirachi, Victini, Keldeo, Genesect, Dayancy, Volcanion, Magearna, Marshadow, Zero Aura, Melton and Melmetal. Oh, Zarude. I don't have it on the list. So let me actually just pull up a Zarude and see. Hopefully we get some more like shinies for these things. Darkened Grass, so it can fight against Incineroar. It has Leaf Guard, which I believe it makes you immune to like powders, which is always good. It makes like the whole side of your field immune to powders, because Grass is already immune to powders. 105 speed is pretty good. Let's do like speed stuff like Charizard, which would cook this guy. Attack is 120. Defense and special defense 105 and 95 is actually pretty good with 105 HP stat. So it can hit pretty hard and it's pretty fast and it can survive attacks. What kind of moves does it get? It doesn't get Grassy Glide. It gets Synthesis. What does Jungle Healing do? I actually remember it being like restores teams HP and cures. Oh, teams. That's interesting. That's like an S tier move on like an A tier mod. So I'd say it's somewhere in that range. That's pretty good. Oh, that's pretty good. HP and status conditions, and it's fast, right? So you can try to like outspeed stuff and do it first. It gets U-turn, like fling acrobatics, so you can actually make this very supportive with a focus sash and be in business. This is actually pretty good. Yeah, it's like an A plus. It might be even S tier, but I think A is fine for it. So if there was on here, just imagine it's being like at the top of A or something like that. Even though these technically aren't really in order. Even though they could be based on what I'm looking at. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. I'm gonna try to get some practice games in. Hopefully you guys made it this far into the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna try to be back more often. I was just burned out for a long time. I don't know if I'm really refreshed yet because I've been dealing with work and life. You guys don't care about that stuff. Question of the day: did y'all miss me? And your favorite mythical? Answer that for me. Leave a like, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.